Hey guys, welcome to another video for Anatomy and Physiology. In this video we're going to be looking at the classes of chemical messengers. So one of the questions you might be asking yourself is, what is a chemical messenger? Well, it's most likely what you're thinking it is. It's just a signal. It's a way to send out a signal. For example, think of, this is maybe a little bit more old school, but when if you could write a letter to somebody across the country, you would use the postal office. The postal office would take that letter and ship it off to wherever you want it to go. So that letter is representative of a signal that you would like to send out. Likewise, when the body is communicating or it's trying to get a signal from one part of the body to the other, it uses a chemical signal, okay, a molecule of sorts. So just to kind of get us started on this idea, I'd like to discuss something that may or may not happen to you, but nonetheless has very much to do with what we're talking about today. Back in my days in Seattle, I used to really enjoy trail running out in the mountains. And I remember this one particular time when I was out there in the morning and a jogger going the opposite way stopped me, grabbed me by the arm, and he let me know that about 30 seconds up the trail there was a black bear in the middle of the trail. And as soon as he told me that, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up and my heart rate immediately started racing. My breathing got deeper, and I was basically left there with a decision to make. And so to avoid the worst case scenario, being possibly attacked by a bear on the trail, I just went ahead and turned around and went on my way. And there's other instances in life, at least for me anyways, where I've come across danger, like when I've gone scuba diving and come up across paths with a shark. That can also be very exhilarating. Or perhaps maybe rock climbing. If you've ever been rock climbing and you've had that sensation of knowing you're about to fall, that can be pretty terrifying too. It's one thing to fall, in a moment, but it's another thing to have like that few seconds of knowing that you're just going to lose your grip and fall. Either way, all of these scenarios have something in common, and that's that they create stress. And when your body is under stress, especially very dramatic stress like falling or coming across a dangerous animal, your body releases a chemical messenger called cortisol. That chemical messenger creates a reaction in the body that's called your fight or flight system. You have the release of adrenaline, your heart rate goes up, your blood vessels dilate, your pupils dilate. Your body is amped and it's ready to either fight for its life or run for its life. And so, like I said, these are chemical messengers. These messengers are sent out through the body through something called the endocrine system. And that's what the next series of videos is going to discuss, is what exactly this endocrine system is. And basically, in a nutshell, it's a transmitter of signals. Okay, your body needs to respond in a certain way because of a certain thing that's happening. And so it releases very specific chemical messengers. So you got to keep in mind that your body's in charge of about 75 trillion cells. Okay, and there's 4 main ways that your body maintains these cells in homeostasis. And that's through these 4 chemical messengers, or these are the 4 types of chemical messengers anyway, that we're going to discuss in this video: autocrine, paracrine, neurotransmitter, and endocrine. So let's go ahead and jump into autocrine. Look at that prefix auto. Auto, think of autobiography. It's a book that you're writing about yourself. Auto, right? So autocrine system is when the chemical messengers, the chemical signals in the cell are released, and then they affect the very same cell itself. Okay, so that's autocrine. Now let's jump over to paracrine. Paracrine, para meaning beside. When these chemical messengers are released, they affect cells that are neighboring it. Okay, like for example, histamine. Histamine would be released by your body, affecting blood vessels, causing them to dilate. So you'd end up having swelling. That response, the allergic response that you're used to when your allergies are kicking up. So one that is just like paracrine, and technically it is kind of a paracrine chemical messenger, but because it's happening in a very specific type of cell, namely neurons, we call it a neurotransmitter. So like I said, it's just like a paracrine in that it affects a neighboring cell. So in this case, we have neurotransmitters that are affecting a neighboring neuron. So these neurotransmitters are released on the outer end of a neuron. They go into the synaptic cleft, they cross that, and then they go into the neuron neighboring it, and it affects that by causing an action potential to go down. Okay, and that action potential can affect muscles or whatever else may be following after that. So last we have endocrine. Endo meaning inside of the body, and now this, so autocrine affected the very cell itself that it was releasing it. Paracrine, a neurotransmitter, affect a neighboring cell. Endocrine affects cells that are quite a ways away from its point of origin. So you'll have the not the neurotransmitter, sorry, but you'll have the chemical signal that will be sent out, and it goes into the bloodstream, and it travels through the bloodstream, and then it affects the target cell, having a desired effect. An example of this would be something like thyroid hormone. Okay, so that hormone is released. First of all, it starts off in the brain, and then it affects the thyroid, and then that thyroid hormone will affect other organs in the body, affecting your metabolism. And well, that does it. So that was a very quick summary of the different classes of chemical messengers that your body has. So that's again autocrine, paracrine, neurotransmitter, and endocrine. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helped, and good luck in your studying.